Right now, the economic landscape is brimming with opportunities to build wealth and secure your future. Whether you're planning for retirement, growing your investments, or navigating market trends, taking action today can make all the difference. I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's Certified Financial Planner Professional. If you want to position yourself for success in the evolving economy, you're in the right place. Welcome to Saving the Investor. Coming up on today's show,
harnessing tax-free income, different IRAs explained, a GPS for your financial plan, and much more.
Welcome to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner, investment advisor, and insurance professional Alfie Townsend, president of Advantage Retirement Group. Alfie is a published author, radio show host, speaker, and industry leader.
Why do you use an annuity? A lot of people use it for the wrong thing.
He works with retirees and pre-retirees to build and protect their nest egg and offers his experience to help those concerned about financial independence in retirement. If you've got questions about retirement, Saving the Investor starts now.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Saving the Investor. It's great to have you with us here on this Sunday morning on NBC2. We are here at the Advantage Retirement Group with certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend. Alfie, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Craig Wolf. We're going to talk about creating income. Alfie, essentially there are three types of income. We have tax-free income, we have tax-deferred income, we have taxable income. Let's start out in reverse order by talking about taxable income.
So taxable income, that's going to come from savings, CDs, anything that you're going to get. The key is a 1099 from the bank, or 1099 from that money market. So those are, that's taxable income. So if you're in a big tax bracket, if you're in a low tax bracket, you're okay to have that type of income. But if you're in a big tax bracket, if you're in like a 37% tax bracket, all that income that you got reported, you got to pay 30 to 37% tax on that money. So that takes a big hit. So if you're getting 4%, now all of a sudden you're getting about, 2.5%.
Right.
So that's that brings down your earnings. Then you have tax deferred. Now, what's good about tax deferred, if you're looking for, that could be something like an annuity that just sits there and compounds, and you're not getting taxed on that. You might make $10,000 on that money, and they'll send you something at the end of the year, not to pay tax on it, just show you what you earned. But the only time you would pay tax on that is when you take it out. So if you need that income, then you would pay tax on it. But as long as that money is sitting there compounding, that tax deferred, you don't have to pay tax on it until you decide that you need it, okay? And one good thing about tax deferred is, let's say you need it towards the end of the year. You can take half the money out in December, the other half out in January, and split it up. So you sort of control that. So that's like the second best. But the best of the best would be tax-free. Anytime you can have tax-free income, that would be like a Roth IRA. Roth IRA is where you didn't get the deduction when you put that money in, but it grows tax-free and it comes out tax-free, and you don't need to take out minimum distributions if it's your Roth. So that, to me, life insurance can do the same thing, where you can borrow that money and they charge you an interest rate, but then they credit you an interest rate, so you get that money tax-free. So what we try to do here at the Advantage Retirement Group is we want to look at different ways to get your income as tax-free as possible down the road, because if you're not having to pay tax on that money, remember, you don't have to take out as much, right? Because it's tax-free.
So you don't get the deduction up front.
On the Roth,
it grows. You don't pay taxes when you take it out.
You don't pay taxes. So if you think about, you put in $100,000, it grows to $500,000. That's $400,000 of tax-free income. And if you had to pay tax on that, that would be a third of that, right? So you would have to pay tax on the whole thing. So it's a great way to look at some tax planning, and we do income planning. We're going to look at different ways to create that income for our clients. Some's going to be taxable, but the ones that are taxable typically are going to be 2 to 3 times higher than what you would get at a bank.
So when we're talking about tax-free income, tax-deferred income, taxable income. You obviously make use of the technology that's at your disposal.
We do. We have different programs that we utilize to see if it's worth to do a Roth conversion, to see what your tax bracket is, to see which one, if we want taxable, tax deferred, or tax free, and then we make that choice.
All right, Alfie, good info. Thank you. Stick with us. There's plenty more to come this morning on Saving the Investor.
Do you want to live your best retirement? Well, of course you do. The more relevant question is, are you really prepared to do that? Well, certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend's latest book, Making Waves in Retirement, breaks down the insights that he's gained in his 4 decades helping people just like you plan for retirement. It features real stories about real people, illustrating what they've done wrong and what they've done right. Inside, you'll find strategies to help retirees and those soon to be retired make the right decisions and avoid costly mistakes. Whether it's battling inflation, navigating market volatility, or managing the threat of recession, these strategies may help you too. In fact, this book is essential for anyone who wants to retire with confidence, and you can have a free copy right now. Just be one of the first 9 people to text the word book to 239-747-1080. Don't wait to get this incredible resource. Take control of your retirement today. Text the word book to 239-747-1080 and get your free copy of Alfie's book, Making Waves in Retirement.
One thing about being in the financial business for over 40 years, we get a lot of questions all the time, and especially us because we have a TV and radio show. So we're going to take some of these questions that are asked frequently. That means that you are wanting to know the answers and you're going to get them today.
How do you help your clients determine what their risk tolerance is while maximizing their investments at the same time?
So we use a program that is amazing. It was put together by a team of psychologists. And the great thing about it is not picking a number between 1 and 10. We've talked about that in the past where we have a client in particular, and he happens to be a doctor, and he came from a large firm. And I said, how did they find out what your risk number is? He said, they told me pick a number between 1 and 10. I said, what was your number? He said, my number was 7. And I asked him and his wife, what does that mean? And they looked at each other like little kids, started giggling. They had no idea what it means. So what this program that we use to find out what your risk number is it goes through a series of questions, and it has you picking between A and B, and it makes you, there's emotion play in there, and which is good. It wants you to really think about it, and it's, again, put together by a team of psychologists. So it comes out with a number at the end. And when that comes out with a number, that means that if you're number 62, that means that your $1 million, you're okay if it dropped $150,000, but you're also okay if it goes up $250,000. So your number actually means something. So that's what we use to determine what your risk factor is.
I'm concerned my portfolio isn't diversified enough. Could you recommend some ways to diversify, Alfie?
So diversification is one of the most important things when it comes to a sound retirement plan. You know, where's your income going to come from? If the market goes down, are you going to have to sell things that are at a loss to give you that income? So income planning, diversification sort of falls in play with both of them. So you want to have large companies, mid-sized companies, small companies. You want to have international. Right now, we are not really putting a lot of money in international. That's what's nice about having a custom portfolio. We're not a cookie cutter for, you know, if you come in, you're going to have a different one than maybe your friend has with us because everybody's custom. Okay, but one thing you will have in common, we will not have a lot of international, if any international funds at this time, because our managers tell us what's, you know, that international right now, you're going to be paying a premium, a cost for that to get the same type of return. So they feel it's better to have it in the U.S. because right now the U.S. economy is better than international economy. So you're going to get more for your money, but a diversification is owning different asset classes, and they will change it. It might be where you have communications, you might have technology, you might have energy, but they're going to be changed, and you're going to have different sectors that will give you that diversification.
Are you ready to take control of your retirement and create a sound financial future? The first step is simple. Be one of the first 7 callers right now and schedule your complimentary, no risk, no obligation retirement review with Alfie and his concierge team. When you visit Alfie's office, you'll sit down and discuss your unique goals and concerns. Alfie and his team don't just talk about financial planning, they craft personalized solutions. On your first visit, you can also expect expert analysis of your current situation, risk mitigation techniques, and tax-saving strategies. And that's just for starters. In the world of financial planning, experience matters. With more than 40 years of experience, Alfie understands the needs of those who are soon to be or already retired, from investment allocation to income planning, tax strategies, and estate planning. Your retirement success plan awaits simply by taking advantage of Alfie's complimentary, no risk, no obligation retirement review. Be one of the first 7 callers right now at 239-747-1080. That's 239-747-1080. Call now. Your future financial self will thank you.
Welcome to another segment of Team Talk. I'm Mary Thompson in studio with Alfie Townsend, our founder and president. Alfie, in your book, Making Waves in Retirement, you talk about different types of IRAs. And I think one that's real interesting is the difference between a regular IRA, an inherited IRA, or Roth IRA.
Yeah.
There's all these different kinds.
Yeah.
Explain the differences and how they're used.
Well, they're called a qualified plan. So if you have a 401k, typically when you retire, you can roll that money over and control it yourself in an IRA. Even if you're over 59 and a half and you're still working, majority of businesses will allow you to take that IRA, that 401k, and roll it over into your own IRA and control it. Now, why would you want to do that? You definitely want to do that because you have the whole world of options for you at that point. And we can start doing some Roth conversions, but mostly you have investments that you don't have in a typical 401k. So again, if you're working and you're over 59 and a half, you can definitely take that 401k majority of the time and roll it into an IRA and have many more options. So that's number one. And number two, if you have a old 401k and you're not 59 and a half, but it might be left at someplace you worked, there's no age limit on that. You can definitely take that 401k and roll it into your own IRA at that time. So you have those options. But now you have a 401k and you have an IRA, and usually at 73, there's a little bit of age, it could be 74, 75, but 73 is typically the age that you have to start taking money out of your IRAs. Okay, so you want to take that in consideration. What I always say is this: you might have saved $100,000 in taxes along the way, but you're going to pay over probably $500,000 plus in taxes. I think it's one of the best things the government ever did. They said, hey, you can put money in a 401k, you can put money in an IRA, and then you get to write it off. So you're saving some tax dollars. But then what happens is all these years, you got a little bit of a tax break, that money grows, and now you have to start paying Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
And it's usually 5 to 10 times more than what you got to deduct. That's why we emphasize on Roth conversions and try to get that tax burden off the books and put it in something tax-free. But you asked about inherited IRAs. Those laws changed during the Trump tax cut the first time. And you used to be able to inherit an IRA and start taking minimum distributions based on your age, so you can spread it out for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, depends on how old you are. But now, whoever receives that IRA, if it's not a spouse, or it could be a special, it could be a special needs person, but let's just say you inherit an IRA from your parents. Then what happens is you don't have to take any money out right now if you don't want, but you have to have it out by 10 years. So the law has really changed a lot. As you can see, if you have an IRA, a Roth IRA, you have to take it out, but it's not taxable, but you do have to take it out by 10 years. So there's a lot of questions and things that you can do with 401ks, with IRAs that you're most likely not doing. So it's a good time to give us a call, and we'll review it for you and show you different options that we're doing with our clients that can maybe save you tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes in the future.
Excellent. Great information, Alfie. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And if you'd like to find out how Alfie and our team can help you out with the old 401k or your IRA, or find out tax strategies that can help you in the long run, give us a call.
It is not uncommon for people to worry about the future, asking questions like, will my family be taken care of? Or what if I can't make decisions for myself? Well, these are valid concerns, and estate planning is the answer. It's not just for the wealthy either. It's for anybody who wants to ensure that their wishes are honored and their loved ones are protected. A well thought out estate plan is a gift that can provide peace of mind and reduce stress for your family during a challenging time. It's about leaving a legacy of love and clarity, and not confusion or disputes. At the Advantage Retirement Group, we understand the importance of this gift, and that's why we've created a comprehensive white paper called The Greatest Gift: Estate Planning Essentials. This resource will guide you through the key components of estate planning, from wills and trusts to healthcare directives and tax implications, empowering you to make informed decisions for your family's future. If you're ready to give this invaluable gift to your loved ones, I encourage you to reach out today. Just call 239-747-1080, 239-747-1080, or you can visit our website, savingtheinvestor.com, to get your free copy of The Greatest Gift. Let us help you create a lasting legacy that reflects your love and your intentions. Don't wait. Take that first step today, because your family deserves it.
Well, I think one of the best inventions out there was GPS. Now, when I first got in this business, it was 1983. And I would really drive and see people at their house during that time. So I had to use a lot of maps. And to tell you the truth, my wife, Tommy, would, map me from appointment to appointment, because these maps were so complicated. You'd have to go from page 3, and then it would say, go to connect on page 16. They were the hardest things. And so she would map all my appointments throughout the week. And when GPS came, I thought that was the best invention ever. So GPS was like, all I have to do is put the address in and it will take you right there. I thought I just died and went to heaven. Now, when it comes to a financial plan, you have to have a GPS in that financial plan. And what is that? A good plan is going to entail a lot of different elements in there. You have to deal with taxes. Taxes are going to be going up. So you want to make sure you have tax-free income on some of your money. And that could be a Roth, it could be a life insurance that you take money out as tax-free for loans. There's a lot of different things you can do for tax-free. The next thing you want to look for is income. Now, I always say income is the most important part of financial plan, because if you can get substantial income and not worry about what the market's doing, that's fantastic. That is a great, when you have income coming in, then you can spend with confidence. Now, I'm going to say that again. When you have consistent income coming in, it's not tied to what the markets are doing. It's going to be confidence. Your confidence level is going to go through the roof. And that means you can spend with confidence, and that's the important part. And then you have to say, how am I going to fight inflation? Because inflation is going to be here. And it's, look at groceries and look at gas, everything is going up. So you have to fight inflation. And we do that really with portfolios, with equities, with stocks. And that is the best way to fight inflation, is having a portfolio that is heavy in stocks And that money, you're not taking income from it. That money is to grow, either use it for down the road, or that could be your legacy play. So if you're not looking at all these different elements, and if you're not looking at Roth conversions, if your advisor is not talking about these types of investments where they're broken apart, then you might have outgrown your advisor. I've said that many times, where if they're not talking about taxes, they're not talking about legacy, they're not talking about future planning, you might have outgrown your advisor. And when you outgrown your advisor, you really know that, because they're not really keeping in touch with you. They're not telling you anything new. So if you want to have a second look to see if we can put you in a better position and what we would do here at the Advantage Retirement Group, give us a call and we would love to show you.
Ready to live your retirement dreams? Then it's time to meet Alfie, Southwest Florida's certified financial planner. Schedule your complimentary retirement income plan review now. You are watching Saving the Investor, where your money matters.
Are you worried about inflation and how it's affecting your retirement?
Well, you're not alone. According to a recent study, 73% of Americans rank their finances as their number one stress in life.
But don't worry, there's help available. Alfie's free retirement toolkit can help you transform your worries into confidence.
Inside this toolkit, you'll find valuable resources like a guide to creating a retirement income plan, tips for saving for retirement, and strategies for protecting your retirement savings from inflation.
Plus, you'll get a copy of Alfie's new book, Making Waves in Retirement.
This free toolkit provides valuable insights like ways to transform your worries of retirement into confidence, ways to discover the weak points in your retirement plan, ways even small changes to your retirement plan can make a big difference, and how big your tax bill could be in retirement.
To get Alfie's free retirement toolkit, simply text the word KIT to 239-747-1080. That's KIT to 239-747-1080.
Don't wait and act now. This offer is only available for a limited time. Text KIT to 239-747-1080 today and start building a worry-free retirement.
Welcome to another edition of Knowledge is Power. And the more knowledge you know, the better of an investor you're going to be. And here at the Advantage Retirement Group, David Antonucci, welcome. And we use a lot of different software, and we really look at different ones around the country. And there's a core that we use, and it's for purposes. It's for tax planning. It's for if it's income planning, estate planning. So we have this software. But what do you get out of it when someone comes in and you start showing them? They say quite a few things.
Well, it's true. We do a lot of due diligence on the programs and the type of tools that we present to our clients and prospects and such. And the thing that I hear a lot is, David, Alfie, why didn't my advisor show me this? Why didn't they bring this up? And it always has to do with, something like tax planning or income planning. Because look, everybody's talking about investments, which investments are very important, obviously. But, here at Advantage Retirement Group, we believe that income planning, tax strategies, et cetera,
do the whole thing.
Yeah, it's just as important. You know, so one of the softwares that we use will analyze your past year tax return, and we'll plug it in, and it's very expensive software that we use that we're able to see a couple things. One, what your total income is. Look over, is a Roth conversion possibly right for you? And the question, about Roth conversions is, hey, is it right for you? I think it is, right? Because we all believe that taxes are most likely going to be going up in the future. But the $1 million question, Alfie, is how much? How much of a Roth conversion?
And how's it going to affect my Social Security? How's it going to affect taxes?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's the thing about this program. We're able to really decipher how much of a Roth conversion makes sense without killing you in taxes. But also, there's this thing called IRMA, which is Medicare adjustments. That a lot of advisors overlook that. and that's something that can cost you a lot of money in Medicare premium adjustments. So this software helps us. A quick story, we had someone come in and we were looking at Roth conversions for them, and they were making, let's say $30,000 to $40,000 each year.
Not a lot of income.
Not a ton of income.
She was living off her savings too.
Yeah, living off the savings, and her tax bracket, after analyzing it, was about 12%. So I looked at her and I said, hey, I understand you love your advisor. I understand you have a strong relationship, but why hasn't your advisor been doing Roth conversions with you and paying?
She was young too.
Yeah,
right?
And for the past 10 years, she could have been taking advantage and really getting Roth conversions done, getting money into a tax-free bucket at a low 12% tax rate.
Yeah. And
Alfie, the thing about it is, some people just have outgrown their advisor.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the deal.
Yeah, and that happens a lot. We hear that all the time. Why didn't my advisor talk about this? Why didn't, and a lot of times, you might have started with your advisor many, many years ago, and at that point, you didn't have a whole lot of money, but you have grown. This money has grown. You're putting money in. It's growing. The market makes it grow.
Right.
And they're not doing any, tax planning with you. They're not really making adjustments inside your portfolio. And that might be a question to ask. Have I outgrown my advisor? We were just talking to an attorney not too long ago, and I said that, and he says, a lot of times they have outgrown their lawyer also, their attorney, because they're not keeping up with the tax laws. They're not looking at their wills and their trusts and everything. So, when it comes to estate planning, you have to look at everything and you have to be up to date on it. So if your advisor isn't doing that, you might want to give us a call and let us see if you're in the right thing at this time for your retirement.
Well, that's a wrap for today's episode of Saving the Investor. But creating a secure financial future for yourself and your loved ones is an ongoing journey. I know it's important to you, and that's why I'm asking you to call the number on your screen right now. If you're one of the first 7 people to reach us, you'll receive a complimentary consultation with Alfie, where he will use the insights he has gained in his 40-plus year career to review your financial plan. Today's world seems more uncertain and volatile than any time that I can remember, and your financial future is too important to leave to chance. Whether you're navigating market uncertainties, planning for retirement, or securing your family's legacy, now is the time to take action. Be one of the first 7 to call 239-747-1080 and schedule your complimentary consultation with Alfie. Take that first step now. You've got nothing to lose and quite possibly much to gain. Thanks for joining us today on Saving the Investor. We look forward to seeing you next time.
Mondo Uomo offers a remarkable selection of the latest styles in menswear. Visit Mondo Uomo at the Village on Venetian Bay in Naples. Alberto, Bugatti, St. Croix, Zanella. Come see what remarkable shopping is all about.
Remember the Wall Street bailouts? Those same big banks and financial firms have been fined billions for misleading customers. And now they want to manage your retirement savings. Why would you trust them? I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's certified financial planner professional. My values are Main Street, not Wall Street. As an independent advisor, I don't work for shareholders, I work for you. If you want a fresh start with a local advisor, give me a call today.